It's hard to put a Cockney accent. You know how hard it is? But I can, when I do another accent, I'll start applying it. And after a while I heard this loud bang, nearly jumped out of my skin, I did, and the scream just came out. It's because of that, Swell found me. He didn't let me get away, mind. Ain't that right, Gav? So I'm just going to give her a normal voice until I can work out the best one for her. I mean, I've already budgeted about 10 times.
Objection!
I can say some things in Cockney, but...
Objection! God, it's definitely gonna have to be. It's definitely gonna be a while till I find the right voice. Hopefully, Benton get to trial 5. I thought something. Objection!
Nope.
Hold it!
you mean to tell us that you were present in the carriage for the duration? You wanted to see the entire time while in some forward in the enclosed cabin? Yeah. Right, mister? To be sure. I was as shocked as anyone. You don't expect to lift a cushion you've been slapped on and find a child now, do you? So this Miss Lestrade can possibly cook. It's picture now. Hilarious how Gina's the only one I don't have a voice for. What you mean there's no point spending money to make money? That doesn't make sense. Council, may I remind you that this girl is a petty... Yeah. Well, that does clear up the little mystery of the fares and all. All paying passengers at 5 pence apiece, making the 20 to which the cabin testified. One little scapegoat riding for free. But you're hiding. Full of equipment for the country. Yeah, there's brushes and buckets and whatnot in there, sure. God! I'm definitely gonna stop. I always took all that out and cram in a corner somewhere. None ever seems to bother much. And yet, according to a report found by the police officer who first arrived at the scene, the compartment was full of such paraphernalia. Well, I don't know nothing about that. Like I said, I moved all that stuff out so I could hide under the seat. That's all I can tell you. Seems we've reached the end of that line of inquiry. Continue.
Hold it!
Oh, you're popping up, but you...
Well, no. Excuse me.
Is something wrong, Mr. McKinley? Oh, I do apologize. Was there something the matter, Council? I'm just wondering if I have to think of a good accent to give, good voice to give Gina. Some of it sounds cocky, but isn't. Because I don't have a problem doing cockney, but not unless it's for too long. I know that's not cockney. Oh no, it was nothing important. I was feeling bad for the poor lasses all. I remember feeling desperate myself as a young lad, shut up in the dark. It was terrifying, so it was. I see, yes, I'm sure I can also sympathize. I'm so scared of the dark now. And I don't know about yourself, but I find that darkness seems to make everything you hear seem that much louder as well. Yeah. I suppose it does, maybe. Miss Lestrade! Did you hear something that night? Anything? An unusual noise, perhaps? Nah, not really. All I could hear was this Irishman snoring. But jabbers, there's no need to tell the whole world of me foibles, you little scamp. What a pity. Funny Miss Lestrade, is it? Yeah. What should we make of that last statement of hers? My lord, I believe the statement just made by the witness is profoundly important. Profoundly important? But all she said was that she heard nothing. Yes, which is the profoundly important part. Oh, sure. I'm almost sure that I don't understand the inner workings of Eastern Mind Council. Nevertheless, Miss Gina Lestrade, you will supplement your formal testimony by repeating that last statement, please. That's fine, so the judge. Always a good move. Or you could hear snoring.
Objection!
Fuck.
Hold it!
So you were straining to hear what was happening the entire time since the moment you hid yourself? Not exactly, no. So? Well, there's no one else in the cabin to start with. Could just push the cushion up and have a butt just to see what was what. God, I'm doing it again! So I wish I had some sort of moment of confidence or something. Just treats that. What reference? Mr. McGill is sat on the seat under which you were hiding, correct? Yeah, would you let me leave it, eh? What a mug. So then all I could do was listen. Just realised that there's... not much... I'm trying to remember. But would he? Not likely, even though we stopped there and there. I never had the door open. So I just had to stay put and listen to him driving his ass pigs to the market. Snoring like an old dog he was. Any conclusions we can draw from that, I wonder? Doesn't add up. What you have just told the court is clearly at odds with the facts. Ah! At odds? Are you sure, man? Absolutely. It seems my Lord Nippy's friend is not as dull-witted as I feared. So Van Zeeks realized it too. Counsel, I must insist that you bolster your claim with evidence, or some complicit party's name at the very least. Yes, my lord. I expect you to demonstrate this alleged contradiction to the court. According to Miss Lestrade, while she was hiding in the omnibus that night, she heard nothing but the sound of Mr. McGilded. Snoring. Think, Vinosuke, think. There's something else you should have heard. Very well, my lord, allow me to elaborate. On a particular sound that Miss Lestrade could not have failed to hear on the night in question.
Take that! that!
First right, Mason. Yes, my lord. The son that Mr. Lestrade can know about to hear is how the victim, Mr. Mason, boarded the omnibus. Order! Order! Explain your reasoning, counsel. Mr. Lestrade, allow me to confirm something. You claimed earlier that you were the first person on board the omnibus, is that correct? Yeah, of course I was. I got him while the driver was in this pub, didn't I? And there's a prototype. Maybe when I find out what a proper Cockney accent sounds like, I'll actually be able to guess. The next person to board the omnibus was Mr. McGill. That it was. Not a soul was in the cabin when I climbed aboard. At least not in plain sight. So you were, to all intents and purposes, alone in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus at that time. Did I not just say as much? I wasn't travelling with anyone else, if that's what you mean. Yeah, I saw him get on, remember? With a crack under the seat cushion. He was on his own for sure. And from what we heard, the carriage made a number of stops up and down his onward journey. During which time did you not hear the door opening or closing at all? Nah, I never heard it. That's exactly what I was listening for, wasn't it? Waiting for the swell to leave. In which case, when and how did the victim end up in the carriage? Ah! You know that the victim collapsed inside the enclosed cabin of the omnibus. Therefore... Yes. This petty thief's statement was clearly flawed. Lord Van Zeeks? Yes, he knew. He knew all too well that there was an inconsistency in Mr. Lestrade's statement. It would seem words of thanks in order for my learned friend. What are you talking about? You have demonstrated matters impeccably. This witness and her colourful statements are entirely unreliable. Her words are convenient untruths, nothing more. You gotta be shitting me. Logic, no personal bias, bitch. She didn't say anything. I didn't want to judge the dear little mite just because he has some of our naughty ways. But I must say, I can't abide liars. And neither can I. Mr. Foreman. No, hold up. Let's find Jen. Yeah. Well, your consideration for others is refreshing, when you please, but to consider what troubles you've spared me. Yes, very refreshing. Ah! What are you playing at? Have you forgotten who you're working for, useless Easterner, madame? This is carnage. It's perfect. Joe, two is the only one left. Just now, hold on, the weirdest. I know. If I can't find some new way to convince everyone of Mr. McGill's innocence, the judge will rule and we'll have lost. Yes, the witness's last statement seems to have revealed a critical inconsistency in her story. However, if we consider the possibility that her statement is in fact the truth, it may shed an entirely new light in this whole case. What are you saying? Counsel? Sorry, sir? Whatever do you mean? Counsel, I will not tolerate you attempting to provoke my adjudication. Explain yourself at once! When the accused boarded the omnibus on the night in question, the victim was nowhere to be seen. Subsequently, the carriage door was not heard opening a single time, as testified by the witness on the stand. And yet the victim's body was found inside the carriage. If this petty thief's words to be believed, how do you explain the victim's miraculous appearance inside the cabin of an omnibus? There's only one way to explain how the victim came to be inside the carriage. If the door wasn't opened even once, the only explanation is that the victim entered the enclosed cabin some other way. I wondered what new fantasy would cooperate with your blind panic. But behold, do you notice? Care to explain the blood stain on the floor then? Only one side of the enclosed cabin is furnished with a door. The other has only windows. Fixed windows which cannot possibly be opened. In short, there's no entrance on the door. But there could be. There's one possibility you haven't considered. Oh really? Yes, one other way inside that isn't the door. Another opening, the use of which allowed the victim to appear inside the enclosed cabin. All right, counsel. The defense will identify the location for the court.
Take that!
The answer is obvious. It can only have been the skylight. I say, the skylight!
Objection!
Your ludicrous proposal almost has me lost for words.
Objection!
The skylight may well be large enough for someone to pass through. So you claim, but do you have a shred of evidence to support your addle-brained theory? Both Mr. McGilded and Miss Lestrade said the same in their testimonies. They each claimed to have heard a loud thud, such as the noise made by someone falling to the floor. Yes, which has already been explained. As the sound of the victim falling from his seat having been assaulted with a dagger. Yes, it has, but would a man slipping from the seat onto the floor really made such a loud noise as witness described? A noise loud enough to cause Miss Lestrade to let out an involuntary cry, in fact. Good gracious! Perhaps, in fact, that was the moment that the victim made his entrance into the cabin. No, let me rephrase. The victim didn't enter the cabin as such. He fell into it. You're now suggesting that the victim fell from the skylight into the cabin. That's simply impossible. How can you be so sure? Because if the victim had fallen inside with the skylight, as you say, the passengers on the roof deck would have seen it happen. And yet, not one person made mention of such events in the testimony. Well, yes, that's true, but... Might a humble fella make a wee comment here? Mr. McGilded. To be sure now, the two fellas who were sat on the roof that testified the fall said nothing of the victim falling with the skylight. It seems to me, my lord, that is not so much a case of them not saying, but... Aye. 'Tis a case of them being unable to say. What? I think perhaps the two fellas do be having something of a compelling reason not to mention what happened. Would you not agree, fine ladies and gentlemen of the jury? Oh, my goodness, surely not. Those two chaps on the roof. You mean the ones who stuck that knife in the man were? Ah! Just what exactly are you insinuating here, you bliver? You rather, he said. You rather. What are you insinuating? This is a flaming outrage. I've got a good mind to give you a blink on it. He'll give you a shine in a minute, he said, and so will I. Mr. Fairplay, you're effectively accusing me, a city gentleman and well-respected banker, and me, a very angry hatter, suggesting that someone like me could have stabbed that man in the guts. It's a disgrace, it's scandalous, I protest in the strongest possible terms. Order! 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 This is not the time, witnesses. I will not permit this wanton invasion of the stand. Return to the anteroom at once. But this is beyond reason, my lord. It's outrageous. It's very hurtful, you know. My lord, if I may comment. Go ahead, Lord Van Zeeks. It was the defense that cited this outburst from the witnesses. Highland friend has seen fit to abandon all protocol and accuse the witnesses of action. Accuse? I never intended. He proposed this court that the victim fell through the skylight from the roof deck of the omnibus. That hypothesis cannot possibly stand without the rooftop passengers being aware of the events. Maybe he was dropped in before they arrived? You have branded these gentlemen liars. You have intimated their criminal guilt. In our British courts of law, that is what's termed a baseless accusation. I know I was rash to put this idea forward without any actual evidence, but you can't just dismiss it without a second thought. Testify! Testify! What's happening, Miss Nolan? The spectators in the public gallery are... they're in a complete frenzy. Mr. Fairplay, Mr. First! My lord? You will take the stand again and make another formal testimony. In reference to the indictment brought by the defense. Yes, my lord. I didn't come here for this. There's no time to think this through. All I can say is hopefully by trial 5 I've actually got a solid voice for Gina. We were the only few people up on that booth deck, dead or alive. I can swear to that. If anything had happened while we said, don't you think one of us would have noticed? In any case, neither of us knew the first thing about the victim. We had no reason to kill the man. Although, logically, of course, the argument falls down if the two of you were in collusion. What? What? Huh? According to investigations by Scotland Yard, the two witnesses share no common dealings. Well, I don't trust coppers anymore, I don't trust the stinking rich. That doesn't feel right here. China's going in our favour, really. So I don't feel so uneasy. Counsel for the defence, over to you. Your cross-examination, please. Oh, yes, my lord.
Objection!
It did. Sheesh. So at no time did the victim, Mr. Mason, climb up to join you on the roof deck. Absolutely not, Dickon. No question about it, he said. Not at all. Oh, but yes, of course. I remember seeing them both. I saw the victim inside the enclosed cabin talking with this man here. Is this true, Mr. McGilded? Dear me, my lord, at the risk of repeating myself, I boarded the omnibus alone and nodded off inside almost immediately. That's an outright lie. Without doubt you were engaged in... Let me stop you there, fella, and ask, do you have any evidence at all? Ah. 'Tis all about evidence in the courts these days, so it is. You'd do well to remember that. Oh, I saw you with my own eyes. This has gone so well.
Hold it!
Well, it was on the final run of the omnibus at past 10 o'clock in the morning. It was suddenly been quite dark. Absolutely dark to see clearly. Is this some kind of a lark? Is this some kind of joke, he said. Is that what this is? Or perhaps one or the other of you fell asleep briefly? Are you fair dinkum, sir? Are you serious, sir? That's what he said. It's impossible, I tell you. I could give you the keys to the vault if you could fall asleep in that bitter cold. And if you did manage it, your eyelids would freeze shut and you'd never open them again. That's extreme. But you see, I was away with the fairies and I didn't hear you at all. That's a lie. I saw you through the glass. You were talking to someone. Now, it was a cold night, so it was. People do be seeing things that aren't feeling the cold. It is hardly surprising. Seeing things? I believe we've reached an impasse here on this particular point. You... Don't take it personally now, lad. If I'm a suspect in this case, then it is only fair that you and your Rafine are too. Open and free competition is what its capitalist society is all about. This isn't a competition I should like to be involved in, really.
Hold it!
So, you had never met Mr. Thrice-Fired Mason before? Oh, I mean, no, not once, never. He'd never met the man before, he said. Never. And you, Mr. First, had no prior dealings with the victim either? That's right, sir. I don't think that much to do with brickmakers, to be perfectly honest. No, I imagine not. Oh, that's, funny. Wait. I wonder if you examine it now. Yeah. Yep, there's no way below to be on both the sea and the floor. If.
Well, no. Excuse me.
Mr. McGilded. Yes, Counselor, what can I be doing you for? Did the witness's last statement give you pause for thought somehow? Not knowing more his connection? Is that right? No, I wonder. What are you insinuating now? Ah. Mr. Fairplay, it has been too long, so it has. It is not. Payment. I beg your pardon. You borrowed 20 guineas from me, sir. Well, now, is that a touch of begrudgery, is it? A sort of begrudgery that might motivate a fella to pass his crimes off on another? Ah! And young Mr. First. Me, sir? What do you want me, sir? You do be making hats for a living, do you not? And that top hat sliding about on your head. Is that another one? Is that one of your own creations, is it? Oh, well, I'm still an apprentice, you understand? I'm learning to find the perfect fit for whatever my fine gentlemen will know. The perfect fit, is it? Well, it is a very distinctive design, so it is. Customers, such as Fry's Fred Mason. Ah! There was a photographic print of the victim submitted as evidence before me lord. This you mean? I can't help thinking that the poor fellow's hat looks distinctly familiar, wouldn't you say? That's one of my hats. Aye, that it is. So it would seem the brickmaker was a customer of yours. The sort of customer, I'd wager, you could have had a wee quarrel with over the distinctiveness of the goods. No, sir, absolutely not, sir. Well, there's really nothing more to add. It wouldn't be right to say that the two fellas haven't the remotest connection to the victim, you see. I missed my keys. You little weasel. He's better at this than I am. Gosh, Miss McGill has suddenly been following his research, hasn't he? Please, don't let me little interruption hold of the proceedings.
Objection! Hold it!
Are you quite certain about that? And the skylight was shut neat and tight. I'm going to lose my block in a minute. He's going to lose his back with you in a minute. That's what he said. Take a look for yourself. Go on. You see, it's shut fast now, just like it was on the night. So it is, of course, the fella decides Mr. Mason would like a big right through it still on. What? Just looking at the size of the thing, you understand. Now you hold on a minute, sir. The size of the thing means nothing. Not on its own. Let's consider the bigger picture here, shall we? Let's not buy an arcane, shall we? I was riding the omnibus on another occasion when, a book went loudly. I shocked myself a bit. This is an unexpected confession, Mr. First. Oh, I just mean to say, well, the point is, I tried to open the skylight, you see. But, just my luck, I couldn't make it budge. The stench was terrible. Everyone was looking daggers at me, sir. And as bad as news I did. Are you expecting me to sentence you? Oh, no, sir. The point is, the skylight can't be opened. I tried and tried, but I was inside the cabin of shame.
Excuse me.
Do you have something to say about that, Miss Lestrade? Miss Lestrade. It opens. The skylight. That is what we're talking about, right? All them skylights open, did he? More easily than you can load that weapon. That's what I tell you, otherwise we'll broke wind that night. You can't do it from inside your mug. Oh. Look, a few weeks ago, I was up on the roof deck of one of them drags. And I had I had purses coming out of my ears. Miss Lestrade, this is not the form to be eulogizing on the subject of your criminal activities. Well, anyway, I had a bit of a scare. When I left the last bloke's purse, he got wise. All four of them surrounded me, so I couldn't hop off the boat and leg it. So what I did was, I used a skylight, opened the catch and jumped right through. I'm good at doing a normal one for a short time, but I'm not done a female one full time. Yeah, the catch for them skylights is on the top side, and that's where you can open them from the cabin. The skylight opens from the roof deck. Bailiff! Climb up onto the roof of the omnibus at once and verify this witness's claims. Ah! Oh, my heart! See? Order! 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 So it appears that the street ghost statement is quite true. I don't believe it. The skylight opens. I found the roof deck. So the skylight opens. Perhaps I should investigate faster. So the skylight was fastened shut before. Now the catch has been undone, we should be able to open it. You can certainly see inside the carriage through this opening, that's for sure. Yes, there's one thing close down, so I'm sure. I'll go first. Now I'll go inside. Yes, it is open everyone. Why not? Why someone like me? Huh? What is it? Look, just here, look at this. That's without question. Why would there be a bloodstain now? Present.
Objection!
On the night in question, the victim was fatally stabbed in the stomach, and immediately afterwards, the victim's body was pushed through the skylight into the cabin below. Those are the facts, and the irrefutable proof remains clearly visible in the omnibus that stands before us today in this very courtroom. What? That's utter humbug. Ah, you can't possibly have any evidence. No, you can't. I mean, we didn't do it, I tell you. It's impossible. Irrefutable proof here in this courtroom. Counsel! My lord? I believe everyone would appreciate a little clarification here, Where exactly over in the omnibus is this evidence to which you allude? Here it is.
Got it!
By Jupiter! Is that blood? Ah! This blood stain proves two things. Firstly, when the incident occurred, the skylight of the omnibus was open. What? And secondly, the victim was already bleeding when he fell through this opening. Oh my! And so it follows that Mr. McGilded, who was inside the enclosed cabin himself at the time, cannot possibly be guilty of this crime. Order! 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 But... I was stabbed inside the cabin. And only found its way to that one particular spot on the skylight. Sure, and that would have been very convenient. Ah. That the skylight catch can only be unfastened from the roof deck. I myself wouldn't have been able to open it with the skylight, I mean. Why don't you have a good look at the floor of the cabin between the two seats, Mr. First? It is all to play, and if you see, here's the aftermath that shows the poor fella dropped from a fair height right there, so it is. What? No. But it can't be, it's all lies.
Hold it!
My fellow jury members, I think we can all agree that this is clear proof of the defendant's innocence, can't we? I believe we can, yes sir. Yeah.
Objection!
Really? Pulling an Edgeworth, are we? A chilling performance, Mr. McGilded. Oh, what would you be referring to there, now, Lord Van Seeks? A bloodstain on the frame of the skylight. Such evidence is non-void. What? Why? For one extremely simple reason. That smear of blood never existed. What are you talking about? It's their fault to see, and it's their job. I personally attended stopping the investigation of the omnibus. The officers involved went over the carriage were finding, so I can state with absolute certainty no such smear of blood existed in the carriage, at least not until its trial began. Are you suggesting, Lord Van Seeks, that the stain of blood was fabricated, my lord? Yes, and while this court has been safe. What? What a palaver. I must say I didn't expect such crude reasoning from a prosecutor of your standing, Lord Van Seeks. But I'm Magnus McGilded, a fellow known all over the capital for his fine contributions to public life. I don't take kindly to slander, and I'll afraid it to the bitter end. Even if it's running off the tongue and read for the Bailey. Mr. McGilded. I realize that this is your first appearance in court as accused. However, I am well aware of your involvement behind the scenes and wow, just like Edgeworth, determined on pulling all in, well, old Edgeworth, determined on pulling all the strings to ensure Nanda's guilt, even when... You're very adept when it comes to avoiding getting anyone from his territory. And each time it happens that the case you're involved in is investigated, you adapt to the facts. Adapt the facts? What does that even mean? When you wield a fortune the size of Mr. McGillicuddy's, however ill-gotten it may be, nothing is impossible. Tampering with evidence, manipulating the scene of a crime, bribing witnesses. I toast your ability to concoct the most convenient of stories, sir. Lord Van Zeeks, this will not do, to be sure. Will it now, Counsel? Oh, no. I think it's fair to say, this does all sound like a rather far-fetched excuse by a desperate man. The blood on the skylight didn't exist, you see. But if you will all cast your minds back, is it not true that the omnibus there has been in the courtroom the entire time? How could anybody possibly put a smear of blood in it without the world and his wife seeing? Isn't that right now, Counsel? The interval? Yeah, the interval. It's true. The omnibus has been in full view the entire time that the court has been in session. My learned friend. Here's for hearing your opinion on this matter in your own words. As you wish. Could someone have tampered with the omnibus during this trial? If you're asking me, I think it could have been possible. As a defense lawyer, it's my job to advocate for the defendant as best as I can. Still, I feel as though there's something even more important at stake here. There is no evidence to suggest that the defendant did, as my learned friend suggests. However, in terms of having the opportunity to carry out the alleged tampering, there is one possibility. Oh.
Good gracious! Explain yourself, Counsel.
Seems my Lamborghini's friend has no intention of leaving this deceit. Oh, that's a final. Yeah.
Deceit?
I'm sure everyone still remembers clearly. The recess now you're forced to take. As a result of the smoke grenade fired by the witness going in the stand, Miss Gina Lestrade. The courtroom was filled with smoke, and everyone was in confusion. All of us were made to leave this chamber. In that brief interval, under the veil of smoke and in all the chaos, it could have been possible to still inside the omnibus. Are you wise? What are you trying to pull, you rotten feckless gouger? Feckless gouger? You're supposed to be defending me. 'Tis a wicked plot. 'Tis a plot to undermine me, so it is.
Objection!
Whatever you think this is, it changes nothing. The facts are the same. After this courtroom was evacuated earlier as a result of the smoke grenade, a number of inconsistencies materialized in relation to the omnibus.
Inconsistencies? Such as?
To start with, the storage compartment in the rear passenger seat. When the police investigate the omnibus, this compartment was full of the driver's ankles. Secondly, we have the smear of blood on the edge of the skylight. As I have said, that was not present at the start of the trial this morning. Unfortunately, Lord Van Zeeks, no one is able to corroborate your claims. That's true. The omnibus was first wheeled out. Both the storage compartment and the skylight were shut. Accordingly, I'm afraid to say we cannot establish with any certainty if this evidence is the result of tampering or not. Indeed, my lord. No doubt there was not a single person who saw fit to verify its truth. What do you think? Sorry? About the omnibus. Is there anything else unusual about the omnibus? What in the devil's name are you going to say now? If you dare to betray me, you little maggot, you'd better start watching your back.
Objection!
Silence, McGilded. The court awaits the defense's clarification. This trial keeps swinging one way and the other. I shall have to ask you to elaborate, counsel. Where exactly is the alleged mark that you claim appeared at some point during the trial?
Got it!
If we consider that the victim fell through the skylight into the floor of the cabin, you'll certainly expect to find signs of blood where he landed. But as far as I recall, this blood stain on the cabin floor was not there when the omnibus was first brought into the courtroom. Good Lord! Yes, I do believe you're correct, counsel. Well said. Although, as advocate for the defense, I might say that was a very careless slip of the tongue. I believe that blood stain on the floor is a decisive piece of evidence. But if the question is whether that evidence is genuine or whether it was unlawfully fabricated by someone, I feel compelled to admit that there's at least a possibility that the evidence is fake. This trial is over. Mr. McGilded, I've done everything I possibly can to cooperate with the court, but it is all over now. But you're the defendant. It is over, I tell you. Memory, recollection, what people think they saw. It is all a nonsense. Facts are what counts, and the fact is, that blood stain is there now. Well, under the course of this desperate trial, long and extremely drawn out as it has been, a good for nothing reef for the Bailey has failed to present any decisive evidence at all. Well, I'm scandalized, I am. I'd thought better of Lord Van Zeeks. Well, my lord? I must concur with the defendant. The unaffirmed recollections of an individual cannot stand as evidence. At this moment in time, the particular bloodstain in question is very much in existence. And in the absence of any credible method by which to prove its alleged previous non-existence, I regret to say that it would be improper for this trial to continue. Your lordship can't be serious. Lord Van Zeeks, what is your position? The prosecution, my lord, has no further witnesses or evidence presented. Very well. In that case, as I believe we have explored every possible avenue in this matter, I shall proceed to my adjudication. As a formality, I am of course obliged to confirm with the defense first. What formality? As things stand moment, it would seem that Miss McGilded will be found not guilty. Yes. Which means we won. Is that really the right outcome here? Are you right for the child coming to an end now with all these unexplained inconsistencies? Counsel for the defense, your closing statement, please. Yes, my lord. The defense believes As Mr. McGilder's legal representative, I can't breathe. The air in here is stifling. But I'm this man's defense lawyer. There's only one thing I can say in this situation. I believe the defendant, Magnus McGilded, to be innocent of the allegations brought against him. Thank you, counsel. Here's to you, my Japanese friend, and most abject closing I have yet to hear in a courtroom. Order! Order! Oh, it was a grand decision to appoint you as my lawyer. So it was, a grand decision. You're saved one of London's most influential gentlemen, fella. You should be proud of yourself. Yeah, have this for your troubles. Your job here is done, fella. And some fine work you've done, so you have. What do you mean? There's just as right honourable gentleman so succinctly put it before. The trial can't go on anymore. And your closing statement now was, how do you put it now? Nothing more than a formality. I really don't know what to make of all this. Was the evidence we've seen genuine, or was it fake? His lordship would be fuming. Any unsightly rubbish should be disposed of promptly, as I said. The stinking rich always guilty of something. You mark my words. I feel terribly ashamed that I ever doubted that lovely man who gave us the lovely park. I thank you kindly, my lord. I hereby pronounce the verdict of this court. But we still haven't determined if the bloodstain in the omnibus is genuine or not. We don't know if these witnesses are telling the truth or a pack of lies. I have no idea about the truth. Lord Van Zeeks? My lord. The case made by the prosecution was flawed, plain and simple. If indeed the omnibus presented as evidence was tampered with, the prosecution is at fault for allowing such a disgraceful perversion of justice to take place.
Objection!
But wait. When we were evacuated from the courtroom, Lord Van Zeeks ordered the evidence be secured. I'm afraid the prosecution cannot shun responsibility in this matter. That's unfair. The culpability of the defendant has not at the present time been established by this court. Consequently, the jury will not be required to prefer judgment. Well, Lord Van Zeeks, it's been a pleasure, so it has. And as for you, my dear fella, I couldn't have asked for a better defense. Do you mean to tell me this? Yeah. There's a lot of land, my good man. If you'd like to pursue this matter further, you can always go ahead and try to change the law. Magnus McGilded. Good grief, you've more to say to me, have you? Just one thing. A warning. This is far from him. Well, something to be looking forward to then. I hereby pronounce the defendant, Mr. Magnus McGilded, not guilty. I'm definitely going to improve my Lestrade voice by next one. By trial 6, I mean. Trial 5, not trial 6. I can't believe it. This is outrageous. They should have examined the evidence more. What are you talking about? The man's been cleared. He's innocent. With coffee and pandemonium for the second time that day, the judge delivered his verdict, and my first ever trial in Great Britain came to an abrupt end, with the defendant being found not guilty, ostensibly a victory for us. This thing was long trial? Ah, yes, it was. First ever trial? Yeah. I suppose we should be happy. The trouble is, we're still completely in the dark about what actually happened. Well, we don't have enough time. But isn't it wrong? I mean, who was actually responsible for Mr. Mason's death? I don't even know that. The sole aim of the defense... Yeah. I that you did. Mr. McGill did. Ah, and that girl is with him too. Well, it seems the stories are true. Oh, what stories? About the 6 enormous fireworks they do be left north when there's a verdict for not guilty. I'm sure you must have seen them now. Spectacular, wouldn't you say? Yes, definitely. I'd heard it was a sight to behold, and to be sure it was. And I've you to thank, I suppose, for having an opportunity to see it. Oh, I don't know about that. I'm not sure I really did anything. What on earth are you saying, fella? How'd I walk out of there for you, man, then? I don't think it was so much thanks to me as down to your planning. You're a straight talking fella, aren't you? I must say, you had me more straight in the head there once or twice. But you're young and headstrong. Ah, there's water under the bridge. Congratulations, Mr. McGill, on having your name cleared. But nothing's resolved. There's only one thing that matters to me. Oh? They've all seen that I didn't do that odious and obstinate deed. It is grand, is it not? I suppose it is. Now the fine fellas of Scotland Yard can take matters in hand and sort out any wee details. They'll see it for what it is. They'll get to the truth. I have absolute faith in them, so I have. After all, I do be providing a good number of their wages with all the taxes I pay. Ha ha ha. Not that funny. So then, as we agreed beforehand, 1,000 guineas for your troubles, fella. Oh, no, I couldn't possibly accept that much. Ah, being whist. You're humble people, are ye? You from the east? Well, if you insist. But have this, still and all, you deserve a reward. Mr. Magnus McGilded! Everything is ready, sir, if you'd like to follow me into the courtroom. Into the courtroom? What's this, officer? 'Tis sooner than I was led to believe. I hope it's not an inconvenience, sir. There were some changes to the schedule. Well, I must be making tracks now. There's time for the inspection. Sorry, what inspection? They're going to examine the omnibus again, so I'm told. I asked if I could be present for it myself. They're going to examine it again, no? Naturally, I'm under no obligation to take part in any more of this matter now. But as an upstanding member of London society, I do be doing my best. To help wherever I can. 'Tis a gentleman's duty, so it is. So then, very well. It was an absolute pleasure meeting you. I hope you have a whale of a time while you're studying here in Great Britain. And there he goes, a free man. Oh, I forgot she was there too. Don't move! Well, as I want to say, can't move on. She really does take forever to load that thing. Mr. Lestrade, would you mind putting that thing down? You're a grown-up. Sorry. And I hate all grown-ups. Huh, there you are. Naughty, naughty. God. Is this some kind of picnic? Who's this little girl now? taking that with you as well. I was looking forward to traveling my experimental smoke grenade launcher. Wait, that was me, by the way. Oh, do you want to play? You... excuse me, but who are you? If you had to be shrouded in smoke, not all. I just took my eyes off it from whilst I was singing on a different omnibus and she pinched it. I'm telling what's it now? I have no idea what this girl is talking about. Anyway, you're calling me now. That's my little... What? God damn it. On these characters. Why have I decided in this game to start giving these characters individual voices? She was a lively one. Well, you think perhaps? Why does my voice have to be so deep? I can't even... Okay. We haven't had time to find a place to stay. How soon have we arrived? And so, I tried to determine my worthiness for the study tour was over by the end of Adam's first being written. However, as we were soon to learn, the more trying times ahead, just as Reaver the Bailey had warned, the case was far from over.
What's going on? Get the fire brigade! Water! Bring water, quick! What? How did this happen?
I don't know, sir. By the time I got here, it was already engulfed.
No one was supposed to be allowed in here before we started investigating. No. Oh, good God. There's someone in there.
This can't be.
And farewell, finally. Seriously gonna have to work on voices for Iris and Gina. Not that I'm easy with how deep my voice